Okay, now the messages are on.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning from Montana.
This is our first whack at doing an outdoor live down at the pens.
We got a bunch of creepers behind us.
We have help.
All right. Okay, guys. So let's see. We have '08 here, and he just graduated. And this is Vander. You can see his ear. That's
Evander
us.
Holyfield, Mike Tyson.
Way back there staring at us, that's Richard.
That's Richard in the back of the pack.
Actually, there's some other ones that are over in the fire, so that's kind of nice that he's actually coming over here. And then we have Tony behind '08. He's getting close to graduating, guys. And that 4830, that's Nuda. 5137, she's just in here to get used to us because we're going to start gentling her soon. I see Red over there walking.
Red came up and said hi while you're messing with the camera.
Yeah. Let's see. And then you can't see over here, but there we go. That is Clark. And then on the other side of Clark is Elton John. Elton John. So that's
Elton.
yeah. All right. I think that's pretty straight. Now, and then there's two over there. We're calling them the new kids. And the reason they're the new kids, they're in to start being gentle, but we haven't come up with names, and they look almost exactly the same.
Yeah, I call him Ding and Dong.
That could stick.
Yeah.
So right now we haven't started doing anything with them. They're just getting used to being around us. I'm gonna aim this down a little bit.
Sneaking in here, MaryJo.
Richard, that is so cool. So guys, if you guys have been following along, Richard has been one of the hardest donkeys that we've gentled, and it's a work in progress still. But I like that he's coming over here. So I just started clearing the fronts with him, and it was pretty dramatic at first, but now he's doing well. And Vander here, he's starting to learn how to wear a halter. Well, he's being introduced to the halters.
He's not a fan.
Yeah, he's not wearing it yet. I could demonstrate that.
That'd be a really good thing to demonstrate.
Yeah, I have. Oh, I'll go.
Maybe we'll do it live on film.
He might. He's getting close. I'll go get a halter. Okay. Now, if you guys have questions, okay. If you guys have questions, make sure you put them in the comments. And then I am going to try to answer all of your questions. There we go. Um, and Dan has his phone to make it easier because I have my phone is, with the sun in the background. So hopefully it's the best view for you guys. But that makes it hard to read those comments. But Dan's phone, he'll be able to see it. So for motivation, guys, I like to talk about a piece of motivation each go live. And today, the motivation that I was thinking about is it's not about doing more, it's about noticing more. So, like right now, Vander's head was just slightly away from me, and now he's turning towards me. That's curiosity, right? Because we're not doing very much with him, just introducing. I love that he's over here already. Unlike Richard, who we've been working with since December, is staying back there. But I'm grateful that he is at least in this pen, right? So noticing more sooner is kind of going to be the theme for today. And then when Dan and I were talking about what we would talk about, Dan had the idea that sometimes Dan rushes more when he's doing training, and then we have to go back and fix things. So, going slower is typically faster.
60% of the time, it's 100% of the time.
60.
40% of the time. Yeah, I've noticed that. Some of the donkeys, I can take big steps and have a gentle donkey right quick, a good gentle donkey. But when I do that standard Dan approach on the wrong donkey, I definitely make a lot more work for MaryJo. So if you add up the man hours, the added work I created for MaryJo by going quickly hasn't saved anyone any time. So I'm working to improve that. Old habits die hard. So MaryJo's going to do her way at Vander.
not the camera. Oh,
Look at
wait,
him.
I think he is on the camera. So you guys noticed after we did nose, this is how I introduced the halters. Just nose deep. And the first time he did it, then he needed to walk away. That's what Dan and I call a walkabout.
Yeah.
He did not stay down long, but he just needed to go and process. And when they're processing, we're best just to leave them alone because they need to do that. Actually, we had an open house yesterday, and it went so much better than our first adoption event. Dan changed how the pens are, so now the horse trailer is over there, and I have two working pens right next to each other that people can view and watch. So I just kind of did a little mini clinic that people were able to watch for the open house. And I had a Alton.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Wild to mild. That's wondering about. They do Mustangs. They never had a BLM burro. Question is, would one be happy alone? No, that'd be pretty rare for a lone donkey to be happy. MaryJo does a lot of coaching, and I'd say what about 90% of your people you're coaching with problem donkeys, it's a solo situation. You're not gonna the odds of you having a complete donkey by itself is small. Since you're going through a holding facility, the price is pretty small. I'd get yourself two; it'll actually save you time. Um, they seem to have better mental stamina when there's two of them, even if they're in separate pens. Your gently process go easier if you're not dealing with mental issues. Being they'll hang around a chicken or a goat or a horse, but they much, much, much would rather be around a donkey. We see here on the farm, we have horses and mules and donkeys here, and they oftentimes spend a lot of time segregated with their own species.
And what Dan is talking about is our animals that are out next to us. So and we used to not believe that people would say, "Oh, donkeys never donkey." And I didn't really believe it because Jameson first time he came with a mule. We were told that they were
hard-headed about it.
yeah, because we are so smart, right? But then we learn that we're not that smart. So what we notice now, like you might be able to see Seamus way in the background. I'm not sure if the camera is pointing. But pretty much what we notice out there is that Seamus, the donkeys, these are their donkeys. The mules and horses will be together, but the donkeys do not hang with the horses or the mules hardly ever.
Yeah, they spend most of the time apart. Yeah, with donkeys, get two, it'll be easier.
You're not helpful lately. So we've done nose and neck. Nose, but and he's staying with me now, which is super awesome. When he has to do a walkabout, I just ignore it. I should let him chew his food before I ask him a question. You see how right now he's not chewing? That's just notice. So this is when I say notice more. Then that's what I'm talking about. The little tiny things. Then if you open up your phone, can you see Vander or is 08? Are you? Hi, are you ready to engage again? All right, so then neck is the next thing. See,
No, I think my live is behind.
and then after that, I start picking this halter up near him. And if I need to be further away, I can. But we're noticing all the little things. So right now, the little thing is that he's coming towards me. He's wanting engagement. Deep. Did you see his head go up just slightly? When we can notice all these little tiny things, we can really help ourselves help our donkey to be comfortable. And this is, it kind of just goes with things I do. Pushing things to the bottom, and then
Yeah, I'm gonna give an example of going too fast. Okay. And I'll try and get better, and I will. But the difference between myself and average Joe and a professional trainer, MaryJo, is I would have already had that halter dangling on this side, to see how fast I can go. MaryJo isn't just going to rush into that. She's going to go a leady at a time, and have a more complete, thorough job. Now, there's a chance he'll be fine, I cruise right along and say, look, I got him haltered in 7 minutes. But there's also a good chance I might make more work for MaryJo.
So now, watching out little things, Dan, you have to notice any little things because noticing the little things is what's going to help us help our donkey. Now, just because he does a little thing, well, let's watch when I pick it up high. That time he didn't do anything. But last time, his head went up slightly.
And he's leaned away from you with a slight curve away.
Ooh, I'm glad you noticed that. So that leaning away tells me where his comfort level is. Him lifting up his head tells me where his comfort level is. So I could still move past that and say, okay, I recognize he's a little nervous, but I'm still going to move past it. But when I get him SCAP, if you guys know and remember what SCAP stands for, put it in the comments. It's my favorite acronym for training. So now his head was a little away from me. He's staying with me. His eyes started to blink a little bit. Now, typically I say deep every time I do this. That's our little code word. But he's still leaning away from me a little bit. The rest of his body looks pretty relaxed. His head is away from me. That's telling me he's processing. So noticing more, all the little things that we can notice. This is another step to introducing him to the other. Now, guys, if you guys are working with a horse or a mule or Mustang, I do it the same for all of them. And I've had good luck doing it the same, no matter what species of equine it is. Now, the reason I'm swinging this right here is Vander, you see how he's missing part of his ear, you see how his nose is torn. This guy was a fighter in the wild. And he was so quick to come up to us. Again, this is noticing all the little things. He was so quick to come up to us, almost a little bit pushy, almost.
Yeah.
We're not quite certain if he might want to just bite us if he feels uncomfortable.
He had poker face. We couldn't tell if he was really nice or actually wanted to take a bite.
So swinging it instead of just reaching over and grabbing it is just helping to protect me, and it gets him used to that movement. Because I'm kind of in a vulnerable spot, if I'm saying that word right, when I lean over, right? You see how his head just went away? He says, "Oh, I'm a little bit nervous about that." Now this is his third day of doing this.
Is this like his third session?
Ever in the white world. Oh, now he's got to back away. He says, "Oh, if I get a little nervous, I can watch it in shadow." So when we go slow enough that he's SCAP, and again, put it in the comments if you know what it stands for. If he's SCAP with things, he won't be walking away. You gotta put your nose in there. Good job. Oh, I'm gonna make a monster out of you because you're kind of beyond that.
Well, he's been begging over here. It's good to have him do something like he did.
Okay, so now my next thing that I would do is I want him to eat through here. Now that might be kind of scary, so sometimes I will put my hand way through it and then bring this up higher. And then when they're good, I'll put here, and they got to put their nose in here to get the pay. You look pretty comfortable eating through the halter. Good job. Good job, boy.
I can do it.
We can make you change. He has a little blood on his nose.
Somebody. He just turned 3, so he's still just a punk kid.
So Vander just backed up. I was putting my hand in the my old touch. That could be why he backed up. Now he was getting pretty darn mouthy with me there, so I'm just gonna play with his mouth. Okay. Just gonna play with his mouth. Has anybody put down what SCAP stands for yet in the comments? Ooh, hi. Oh, you have such pretty teeth. Such pretty teeth. Oh. All right, I'll give you the first one. The first one is soft. So this is noticing all those little things, right? He's pretty soft. He's also a little pushy, right? But he's not open. But look at here. Look at he's soft. He's coming towards me. He's blinking his eyes a little bit. He's being curious. You are you're not very helpful. You're
a little bit much right now.
Yeah, I feel like he's blocking the view. Okay, so now soft. Will he come in to get the oats? I don't want you to. I really don't want you to. And if I shoe him, if I shoe him, he just feels like he's leaning back. Now, over time, he's going to learn I'm not talking to him. And he won't listen. So now, will he come over here softly? It's a little void. He's not punctual yet. That's the little scat. There's and punctual. There's two of them. So I'm offering him pay, and he's got to put his nose in here. And now this is coming up and touching his nose. So that was accurate when he came over, but it wasn't very punctual, right? Because he had to think about what else was going on at the time. Now, again, he's not paying attention to me. He's a little bit away. What are his ears looking at? With the donkeys, we want to be paying attention to all these little teeny tiny things. So Dan just opened up the panel behind me, as you guys saw. Here comes Clark. Clark is at the same stage as Dan's here, but a little ahead because he's already getting it. So now he'll put his nose in here. I can put this pin farther back in here, and he's got to come put his nose in here. And I'm teaching him to do this on his own. It takes like everything. And here we go. So now this is up on his nose, and he's getting used to that feel. The next thing that I would do for introducing the helper, now start paying attention to all the little things.
Cheryl, if you can hear me, go and post your first question again.
So what we're going to do is, oh, he's backing up. These are the little things. He could be just wanting more oats faster, but either way, he's going to have to wait till he comes over in position. Do you know how old Ben is?
He's at 10, give or take a year or two.
So when people say that older donkeys are harder, here's an example. He's somewhere between 9 and 10. And then Clark is 9.
He has an old man face. Old man attitude. He's really relaxed donkey. We've done, what, 3 sessions with him?
All right, now closing this. I'm not tying it. I'm not putting it on his nose. I'm getting him used to this movement. That's all that I'm doing.
He's never been halted. And this is his 3rd or 4th session.
This will be his 4th session.
Ever.
Now he's back. Like a little. All right, let's see if we can get him to put his nose in it. He did not care about that. There we go. All right, put your nose in it. Hi, you. Deep. Okay, I didn't actually try to put his whole nose in it. I'm rewarding the little try of him showing very optical. Now look at his head, it's pointing a little bit away. Kind of paying attention to what else is happening around here. He just started to chew. Did you notice the delay in him chewing?
That's important when you're doing this. And they have a mouthful of hay, but they're not chewing. It means, yeah, they're getting a little bound up.
Oh, now he's just kind of leaning away, stepping away. I'm just gonna let him go. Don't matter. It doesn't matter. You can go. I want him to have a choice to stay with me. I don't want him to stay with me out of force. I want him to want to participate.
Let's go back to the topic early on about me moving too fast, creating more work for MaryJo. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when I do, it's a lot of work. Clark here, the guy who looks like an old man, but he's only 11 or 9. He's very chill. Very first session, I put a halter on him. And then he realized he was wearing a halter. Luckily, I got the halter off him without too much of a circus. But there was an example of where I created more work. It was a mistake for me to stick the halter on him, because it took the next entire session just to be able to touch him with the halter. Now he halters up like a champ because I did it very, very slow, like MaryJo does. MaryJo's his 3 session work with him.
I had one 15-minute session. All I did was take the halter on and off. And the reason I never progressed past that was part when he was getting his pay for doing it, he got more mouthy, which is often a sign of nervousness, noticing the small things. The other thing he was doing is he was putting his head way down by my feet. I wasn't sure if he was being defensive or curious. And you have to look at all of their body language to help you decide if they're curious or defensive. But I didn't want to take the chance of getting bit. And in the event that he was feeling a little defensive, practicing it is good. In the event that he was just being curious, I'm not hurting it. Did you have the question?
Nope, I was just checking. I realized I wasn't being carpet off to the side.
Oh, you weren't in the frame.
Yeah.
I just had this around his nose and his neck at the same time. Such a good boy. Nose. See how he's turning his head over? Now I'm putting this here, closing it, and I am not trying to tie it yet. Now watch his body language. You see how he turned his head away? Now he's coming right back, so his recovery time is pretty fast. Hey, so the reason I wave around the halter is when I'm in here, they're not allowed to boss each other around. They can boss each other around when I'm not. Now, Dan called him Lord Farquaad. So there's a reason for that, guys, and there's a reason I have him with Clark here. The reason Alvin is separated is because he's been wrestling hard with other donkeys, and he's coming away with wounds on his neck and on his cheek. So we had separated them to let him heal, and then we tried putting them back again. And then he had new wounds on his neck and his cheek. Now Clark here is so chill, and Elton is really learning coping skills. And I'm hoping that Clark can help teach him coping skills. So when Elton goes to wrestle with Clark, Clark just shuts him down.
Yeah.
And it's not dramatic, guys. Clark, he just goes and he kind of bites at his leg and shuts him down. So if I'm in the pen, they cannot boss each other. This halter does not fit cards, but we play with it. Oh, hi, you. Hi. Are you a
He's
good
getting
boy?
good about sticking his nose in.
Good boy. Nose.
Oh, look at that. There we go.
Good boy. Now, the reason I'm closing this with my fingers and then paying him is if I can't get him to stand still long enough for me to do that, we just got a new comment. If I can't get him to stand still long enough for him to do that, well, I'm probably not going to be able to tie it on. And even if I can be fast enough to tie it on, I'm getting away with something instead of getting him comfortable. I want his mind, not his compliance.
Cheryl's had a BLM gelding for about a year.
Mhm.
He's about 5. He's so sensitive and moody. He runs away in fear everything we try to do. What's weird is he's already been gentled and positive and lifts feet.
So,
Is he how many
gentle.
yeah, and how many donkeys do you have? Is he by himself?
When you're working with a BLM donkey, like right now, look at how chill Clark is, right? But that doesn't mean if our daughter came over, Hannah, or a stranger, that they could walk up and have the same response. So we can help him as we're gentling them. We can help them get the idea that people are good and safe, but they're not going to know it and trust that until they have lots of experiences, more coping skills. So this was kind of a really cool example. Yesterday when I was doing a clinic.
Yeah.
So, um, 08, he just graduated yesterday, right? But when there's 10 people standing there watching us, he couldn't do what he normally does.
He had stage fright.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried to power through it, but it was a little rough.
And
I mean, he's got good mental stamina for a kid.
He does. And Elton, who's been harder, I've been working with him since December. So I had Elton in this pen and I went to go halter him, and Elton said, I just don't think that's a good idea. There's people standing at the fence and I'm scared. So I worked with Elton for a little while, and then I said, you know what, let's give Elton a break. And I went over to the other side and worked with 08. When I came back to Elton, guess what? I was able to halter him. I was able to work on clearing the fronts, building a circle, which is all stuff he can do. And then we introduced going behinds or disengaging his hand back. But having that break made all the difference in the world.
So Cheryl's he seems like he's recovering. He started over, he's done fine. Then the next day we basically start over. like 50 first dates.
So I think clarity is something that is hard for donkeys to understand. Like we try to do a good job saying, I want you to do this, A, B, or C, but they don't always understand. So I guess what I might do, what I might try, is to work on clearing the front and offering more clarity. Richard, who was coming to stand over here, Richard is in the horse trailer. I'm impressed.
Is he really?
He is, because that's '08 standing there.
I'd have lost that bet.
Me too. Okay, so Richard is one that he shows almost zero curiosity. But since I started clearing the fronts, and I've only had 2 sessions doing that with him, he is showing more curiosity. He's relaxed more because he understands better. So I would try clearing the front and teaching them. With clearing the front, we're teaching them to think through things. These guys aren't ready for me to demonstrate that because they're just barely ready.
So one of the things on Cheryl's question here, and this is for all you out there, really, the inconsistent, a trained donkey who isn't consistent every day. Seems like they're reverting. The owner's is struggling with the donkey at behaving consistently. Now I've noticed from your coaching students, okay, 90% of the time it's a solo donkey that they're having problems with. They're just not complete. They need to have another donkey. So for the folks who have one donkey and are dealing with some issues that don't make sense, the likely culprit is there's not another donkey on the property.
That plays a role. And if that's not the case, if you already have more than one donkey, Elton and Richard are both good examples of 51st dates with your donkey.
Yes.
And Elton, I could halter him, and I did 1 session of practicing leading, and then the next time I was going to go down there because he tried to bite Dan. I was going to go down there and I was going to clear the front. Like, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to clear the front. I'm going to teach him. And he says, oh, no, you're not. You're not putting that lead rope on me. That's too scary. And guess what? I never got the lead rope on that day. He said, no. Once I started clearing the fronts with him, though, I have not had trouble putting the lead rope on again. Because I'm offering clarity. I'm giving him time to think about things. So when I ask for it, let's see, he does all this pretty fast. So when I say nose, I'm not going to go find his nose. I'm going to give him time to think about it. I want you to put your nose in there. And now I'm going to give him that good deal to wait. Because right now with him, I'm trying to create curiosity. If he's really delayed with putting his nose in there, I might not do anything other than let him touch it and then pay him. Pay the curiosity. Pay can be food. I use food for pay, but it can also be leaving them alone.
Yeah, something right now he's looking away from you. What's different than a different session? Because you're constantly talking to the camera.
Yeah.
So it's a little added. He's looking for it. Oh, lift it up a little higher.
What do you want me to do? I touched it with the side of my nose.
He'll figure it out. He's a smart guy.
See, okay, I could have put it on right there, but I'm trying to build that curiosity, even if he's feeling a little nervous or a little vulnerable. So right there, I can just pay him so I can build the curiosity. And let's see if when I go do it again, you see how he's already leaning towards me? He already says he's ready to engage again. So if I hold this here, I try to get it in front of his necktie because I don't take them off till they graduate. Nose. See, and you see how much faster he was? Because I rewarded the try before, he's going to offer me more now. That's me trying to offer clarity to him. Rewarding them on the try is offering clarity. So I would try to work on your clarity. And if you don't have another donkey, I would think about another donkey. And Alton is a really good example of that because I couldn't put the lead rope on until after I finished. Are you going to help us, Clark? Nobody can see Vander because you're so big. Yeah, you're so big. It's easier. Okay, so there I'm asking him to move, and as soon as he moved his head up, just a little bit. I got a foot. I got more steps. Oh, we're switching, huh? Are you doing a switcheroo? Dan brought in a new one. learning to relax. He helps them to relax. Okay, so let's talk about that. When we're rewarding all these tries, we can reward that they look a tiny bit more relaxed than they did a moment ago. That's going to help create curiosity. When I'm with you, I feel good. Why do I feel good when I'm with you? I want to be with you more.
So Phil has several donkeys.
Mhm. Should we get Vander out of? Oh no, this is Clark.
Done.
Well, should we get Clark out of here? Because he is wants to be in the space.
I just brought him just to hang around. So I don't work for him.
Well, he's nervous, so he'll be good one. Because
I'm very nervous about it.
can you lure Clark away? You are not running away. But you are cute.
So
See how red was the
days. This way.
Too much pressure for red.
Yeah, Red can't handle much pressure on her property.
I might need a flag. I'm gonna move red instead. There, getting behind his drive line. Let's go. There. He doesn't know the move very much yet because he just got in here. Other than getting sorted, so not as much fun. So then he emptied out his foot. Maybe I should go get a flag. I'll go get a flag, guys. That'll make it easier. Then I'll probably lure him in. Probably lure him in with oats, and that's okay too. Just teach him to follow. Oh, now he's gonna get two donkeys. Now, if we're noticing the small things, notice Red's parrot lip.
Oh, I don't think straight chocolate.
Would you like more corn? What do you like? Not you.
There we go. Hey, welcome to the jungle.
Okay, so just having a little like sure. Now, because Red has been getting work with since December, typically most of the time, I can stop him by taking like. I'm sure I have to be the right dog, but I do. But when I'm sorting all of these donkeys each morning, they get better at it. 50 States.
Yeah, let's talk. That shows what a great questioner. She does have a donkey. It's not a lonely donkey. And there's consistency day to day.
Now, sorry guys, I'm not trying to cover it up. I'm trying to make sure he's in the camera. Okay, so I think sometimes when we have certain persons, they don't feel clear. Notice right now how he's leaning away.
This is a very, very high strung. This is a hot donkey. It's like hot, like a thoroughbred. When you're on his calmest day, if a bird flies by, he would even flinch. You guys see that little flinch? It's just my oat sack open.
I'm gonna go get a different.
He can't help it. He's been here for close to 6 months. halter now, and started working on his feet. But it's kind of like working with a hammer. Pin. Are you gonna put him under lead rope?
Have I introduced leading to him yet?
No. You introduced the halter to him, and then I haltered him.
Well, maybe
so even Dan can halter this one.
Maybe we won't put the lead rope on him, but maybe we can. If we can.
Or you might be.
Okay. I keep my lead rope separate when I'm teaching them to accept a halter because it's a lot. They view a lead rope like a.
Yes. No, he's out of his environment. He's usually 3 pins over, and he likes to hide in the southeast corner of that pen. I've never worked with him in this pen.
The reason I paused over there was that he leaned away. Notice all the little things.
So he's basically, I think they can see on the camera, he's leaning that way quite a bit.
So the more we can hear, the more they can understand and move past the two first dates. Richard, Red, and Elton all have been the first dates. And Elton has been Richard has been the first. Now, when I started doing the front with him, they kind of wanted to quit.
Yeah.
They see some gold. No. I'm finding some notes because he's already learning. He really,
He's gonna tip over.
he really likes to go at that stage right there. You know, but something he still. This is going to come out and spend 15 minutes just.
How's that? Different with me came individually. Two of us, same side. And she's reaching forward. So, hey.
And it's good to understand what creates those situations because then you can be like, oh, I understand. There's a little right now. You know? Right now, it's nothing to do with it.
Sure. 5-year-old that was inconsistent. Something we try really hard to do and we'd see a big difference. Days in a row. Just 8 days in a row. See it. Thursday we're gonna see consistency. Not 2 days, not under, not 2 days, no 3 days consecutively. We've seen better consistency, better change.
So that when you're doing the work good, he wouldn't be good for 2 days a week. He needs close to as you can get to 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say you didn't have 7 days. We'll have days.
I would say in the last 4 days. Into that gate, no matter where it was in the tank, he'd be over in this one, facing away, terrifying. That's how sensitive I've grown.
I want to point out what I've been doing right now is I'm grabbing the tail end of his shoulder and then I'm retreating. I'm just checking in. I'm going to go with this on, but we're going to do this through the bottom.
Are you going to help her? Or are you going to leave it?
Let's maybe change the bottom first. I got to change them by you.
He's going to get moved.
So noticing all the small things. Another thing when you're dealing with one that's like 50 first dates, you know, we're not clear enough sometimes, even when we try hard to be clear enough. But sometimes we could think, I'm only going to do target training or I'm only going to do this. Everything's always going to be soft. Now, within reason, I think it's important and needed to introduce a little bit of stress. When I do, I help them be able to relax. Here is a perfect example. Wild Mustang Stein was so darn reactive. I used to have to introduce leading in the front with or in front with him with a lunge line because he would his go-to answer was to go up 180 degrees. He would turn and run. And then I would be such because I didn't want to be too rude. He couldn't stay with me. He was too nervous. And Ty's like, you need to form up like an abrupt look. And when I did that, Son got a little light on his feet. And then his head went down. His eyes got sleepy. He was the most relaxed I've ever seen. So a little bit of firmness is sometimes needed, guys. And if you're right, if you do that right, if you learn this,
Okay, so this is the most high-strung donkey on the property on a long lead rope. This is the first time he's ever had a line attached to him.
now if he stood still, I would just want him to be but because he's not still, I'm just gonna follow him right now. If he can stop for a second.
He's actually doing really good.
He's looking for a way out. Okay, now he stops. Now I can ask for a little bit, a little bit. I'm not putting a ton of pressure on. There. Did you see him blink his eyes, guys? He started to think. Now he's looking and chewing. That's pretty good looking too. That's not just a really bad.
I like how quickly he did it.
Okay, so right now I could try to turn straight, but I want him to think through it. Okay, so I'm putting a little bit of pressure on. I need to. I could. I maybe I should do. Oh, there. He tilted his head an eighth of an inch. I'm helping him think through this, guys. And this isn't. It's not ideal what I look for. When I introduced leadings to '08, he was totally willing to go on a circle. When this happened with Richard, he started. There, look at how much he turned his head that time. Let's ask again.
Oh, there we go. He's thinking.
There. 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 He doesn't understand what's happening. There.
As of right now, he's not upset. He's just confused. But he can get to upset real quick.
Right. And put in a little blinking, blinking, blinking. Here, look. Leaning away from me. His ears are moving. His eyes are blinking. He's taking a step closer.
Don't let the monotone voices fool you. We're both jumping up and down inside right now. This is an epic moment for this particular donkey. He is the hottest donkey I've ever seen.
Now, right now, he needs to have a long break rest. How do we offer clarity? Like, that can be a little bit confusing, right? His nose is crooked. His nose is pretty darn crooked. Clarity comes from the breaks. It doesn't come from pain. It doesn't come from petting him. It doesn't come from asking him questions. It comes from giving him time to absorb what just happened.
I'm going to repeat that in Dan terms. This is the greatest reward she could possibly give him. Walking up to him and patting him and patting him and yelling, "Good boy," and sticking your face in your hand in his face with oats. That would all be the opposite of what we think it would be. It would actually elevate. His reward right now is being able to process this, not have any pressure. He really likes that.
I want you guys to think about if you've ever been around a baby or you had a baby yourself. What are all the steps that baby has to do before it can walk? The baby is born and it can't even hold up its head. So the first step it needs to do is to hold up its head. And when you think about teaching a baby to walk, it's probably not the first thing you think about. Can they hold up their head?
Right.
And what we're doing is we're breaking everything down into all the steps that we can think of.
Yeah, exactly.
His nose is still crooked. So if I started asking him questions right now, he's starting to relax, but he's not relaxed yet. If I start asking him questions too soon, I take away my chance for offering clarity. His nose is starting to look more even.
He's getting curious about what I'm doing over here. He's a little less caught up in the moment than he was 3 minutes ago.
The other thing to pay attention to is how they're breathing. You can see his stomach moving. I don't think he looks like he's breathing super hard, but maybe a little bit harder. That is.
I'm still pretty chill. This is plus. This is a big jump for this guy.
So before the break, offering that clarity, I would say the minimum at this stage that I would give him is 10 seconds. That's the minimum. But I could also stand here for 5 minutes with him and let him totally relax. They get even and then they get uneven again.
When you look straight on a stressed out donkey, their nostrils will have a bird effect. They won't be lined up. One will be higher than the other one. One will be round and one will be shaped like a kidney bean. When those nostrils look the same, then that's a good sign that he's getting closer to being de-escalated. So he's internalizing things. Like a horse might be moving its feet a lot. For him, moving his feet a lot is standing there processing. It is.
So when we're patient enough, and that's like probably the hardest thing about training a donkey, be patient enough to stand here until their nose is not crooked. They're not breathing heavy. They look relaxed. When you think you've waited long enough, wait long enough. The longest they can go still hold it up. That was a harder donkey. That was a. Now there's a rule of thumb when you're working with donkeys, not to ask questions more than a quarter of the time. And that's where this standing here with them. This is not the question. He almost looks like he's starting to get sleepy.
This is not first doing. They're getting close to equal, MaryJo. Right now, they are equal. Yep, he's got normal nostrils. There's a phrase.
Is your donkey's nostrils?
Yeah. Tell me about your donkey's nostrils.
All right. So right now, I don't know how long it's been, but I'm gonna guess it's been a minute or 3.
Oh, it's probably closer to 5.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask for more.
Well, I'm gonna get by my escape door here.
Now, when I do this, I don't want to surprise him, and the way I can do that is by sliding the hand underneath. Now, I would love to be able to turn him this way, but I probably won't be able to do a lot. Say this. There, did you see him turn his head just slightly? I'm pushing him. Where? Nice. Where? Again.
Wow, that's great. So, MaryJo, tell us, why are you doing this to the side instead of straight ahead?
When we put pressure on their toe, that seems to cause panic. So if I can get him to go side, I'm a little bit like I'm not pulling hard. You can see that my hands are closed. But getting him to go to the side, I have more success doing it this way. I'm able to offer to be clear, and I'm not causing him panic by asking him to come forward. There's something about that. I'm gonna try to move him out of it. There, there. Okay, so my goal with this is just to go in a tight little circle. I want him to learn the idea of getting to this pressure. There.
You see him flinch from your hand? Poor guy.
Now, the reason I'm pushing my hand back is I want to offer more than he offered me. I want to do the good deal. Look at his legs. Worthy of a break. That was a big try on his part. You see, though, noticing the small things. He's still trying to go away from me. He does not yet feel good next to me.
Yeah. On your next break, just stand there. Don't go towards him.
Are we still looking at this? He's still looking at me.
Yeah, you're good. Don't go any further south.
Try to squeeze over his head. Oh, got it over his ear.
Oh, man.
Gosh, you didn't get
Poor guy.
it all the way over your head.
Go around his butt to the right.
Well, I was gonna try not to asking more of a turn from him, but now he's facing the wrong way. You are so funny. Okay. And the panel there is probably gonna stop it every time. Look at how bad I throw the rope side. All right, let's see if I can get it. There.
Go to his right. Make it easier for him.
I feel like I need to be clear. There needs to be clear. Or not. Being clear. This happened with that Richard. Really want to give him.
I think a month ago, that kind of pressure he just experienced, he had to try to go over a panel.
Totally.
Yeah. Like I'm still I'm hanging out by, can't see it in the camera. I'm next to the man door.
Okay, so let's watch this fire. That's more stress. And it's not my goal to give them more stress, but it is my goal to give them more clarity. So but let's what just to do with Richard, guys. I introduced her in front. Now I've done this 3 times. Just what I'm doing right now. He was following me around. I could go in a circle with him. But you could tell his mind was not with it. He's like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. His mind was not with it. So now today I'm going to start where we would turn and run. And I would use my play. I needed to be far enough away where I wasn't so then I had to get a really long training. How long do you think that training leg is? That really long?
7 feet.
That's what I had to do. So that day, that session went for 41 minutes, and Dan wanted me to quit. But I couldn't quit till he was relaxed. I didn't just quit when he was with him. The next thing I went in, so I offered me a prayer, hoping to get that space. See how his back hind foot is cocked? You know, I used to always think if their foot is cocked that they're relaxed. I no longer think that.
And he's got those two nostrils don't even belong on the same nose. I mean, one's a half inch taller than the other one, and yeah.
Now, if I started asking him questions before he starts time to relax, I'm not offering clarity to him. It's adding more stress. Look at his hips if I didn't get color. So training donkeys, a lot of standing around.
So Cheryl's 51st date's donkey.
Yeah.
Loves attention and brushing, but it has to be the same exact brush because she goes with a different brush, she's gone.
They can so be like that. Like we have them that are like that.
Just hang in there, Cheryl. Be consistent. I wish it was an easy button. Sometimes there isn't, other than consistency, confusion.
And he's telling Tony that he has the snotty naughties.
Yeah, Tony's got the snotty naughties right now. He's used to halter like a champ. Now he knows what the halter comes work. And he's really good at letting you think he's about to be haltered. And then he goes full on sneak ninja. He can be gone out of that halter in a split second.
He's not picky or anything.
He's gentle about it.
And we've never cleared the fronts with him. Like that would be something I'm doing.
I think that's clearing the fronts. For those of you who keep hearing that term, that's a. It doesn't look like much when you're watching it, but it has a profound, gentle effect. I think the phrase is it creates some gentle leadership. Um, you're teaching them how to answer a question almost with muscle memory.
I want to ask him questions again.
Two different. He's got a huge nostril and a tiny nostril.
Okay, so
I don't have a timer. You've probably been standing there for 3 minutes. Or this has been a big session for him.
Oh, I don't think we're at a quitting point yet. He's not relaxed. I want more relaxedness. Seriously, that's how I do it. See, Dan's making faces at me. Let's see if I can get some relaxed. Yes. So see how I slid my hand on the where slightly. Slightly. But he still came over and trying to help him. And his feet are getting moved. They didn't move the right way yet, but it's okay. I think like it's fine.
So he moved the wrong feet, and MaryJo rewarded that anyway. So she's rewarding the try. It was the wrong answer, It still gave that release of pressure through the organ for at least thinking.
So when the ones that I had that are like 51st dates, clearing the front. Now our members only video yesterday was just about that. It was just about clearing the front, and it was with Elton, just like and then a little bit of Richard, but Richard, the rest of his is like Elton. He's not a particularly easy donkey. Richard is not easy. Today is the first day I've introduced leading. So when I say introduce leading, all I'm trying to do is help them get an idea that they're attached to sleeper. My goal is not a pulling session. When I did this with 08, he just followed me around like a puppy dog, right? He didn't do any of this. But sometimes they do this, and then we have to help them through it. So each time so far, I'm releasing just because he's getting his head away. There we go. Now, sometimes they're going to take us up on a good deal. When I saw it, I made that move. Oh, you see that? He turned his head. I hadn't even made it tight. Now he's looking at you. That's what I'm looking for. I want to quit when he's trying hard, not when he's upset.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna have him just look my direction and see if he faces that camera so they can see his crooked nostrils. Zoom in on his nose and notice that his nostrils, which are normally the same size, over here, bud. You see the nostril on his left side is higher than the right side right now. That's not normal. When he's relaxed, they're the same size.
So I caused him stress. I asked. He took me up on a good deal. I could ask again. There, you see it? Beside just go right back for asking. There.
Wonderful.
Okay, so this is him getting softer, and he's going to get softer because he feels more clarity. Clarity is going to help with the 51st dates. Check out that video that I released yesterday. Ever since I started clearing the fronts with him, I have had no more trouble putting the lead open into the hopper.
Well, that's got to be. Tony's got to introduce it all.
Totally.
We got to deal with them snapping.
There was times I would go to halter Elton and he would be fine. And then we'd be doing something and he would get offended by what I did. And then he wouldn't let me take off the halter. I think one day we left it on overnight. And then other times I've just worked through it right.
There's a time a big thunderstorm was coming.
Yeah.
And he decided that's a good time to like don't even come near me anymore. His nostrils are getting pretty good.
So maybe this is a good time. When I come over to take this off, guys, I like to just kind of coil up my rope as I'm coming. And I'm not wanting to cause him alarm. You see how he's already got to go. Okay, now I'm going to turn. So I'm facing the same direction. Now I'm going to take off this sleeve.
You see her body was forward to him as she went towards him, not directly at him. Directly at him would have been probably a little bit much and would try to walk off. So you can save yourself some work by quartering through him like that.
Notice What time do they live? I guess getting them, I just use oats with 08, but I don't typically use oats with this place. Bobbing his head there, that's his sign of good. There's some of them I have. Isn't this cool having internet down at the farm?
The person who installed this internet down here should definitely be rewarded with lavish gifts.
Lavish gifts.
Yes.
It was Dan, guys. Okay, so he had to go. I'm just gonna let him go. It's okay. Oh, you think that's sports, man? Really? He knows it's pretty relaxed, man. Sometimes James is a bit relaxed. So, okay, now go back over to the this is where if I go faster, with my body because the fact that I'm
Your body turns directly at them as pressure. It may not seem like it, but it is. Being turned like MaryJo's at least one pressure to approach them with.
now, remember, because they're wild, even though we want them to relax while they're in our hand or standing next to us, they're wild. Maybe they're not wild and they're just really, really nervous. Sometimes you're just gonna have to leave the pen for them to relax. We can build towards them relaxing when they're with us. Their recovery time will grow with more coping skills.
It shortens.
Yeah.
As you work with them, they will increase their mental stamina to how much stimulation and new things they can handle. And at the same time, their get over it time gets smaller. They can process faster. The more stamina they create, they process things faster. So in the beginning, it'll be very slow, but the finished donkey, that's when they're domestic. They can handle the new things.
Look at right now. It was relaxed when I walked away. It's pretty funny. So Bander on his like recovery time, session number 1 for him, he had 2 walkabouts. And then at the end of the 15 minutes, when I went to give him his pay, he said, "Oh gosh, thanks, but that's just too darn scary." And his second session, he had a walkabout where he walked like this, and then he came right back, and he still took pay at the end of his 15 minutes. Should we show people what clearing the front is between you and I? I was gonna do that on the members only video and I forgot. Dan's shaking his head. He doesn't want to. Chicken. I think there was a chicken.
You like that internet down here?
I do like having food. Do you guys have any other questions? Well, when I say sometimes you have to leave for them to calm down and relax. So like when Dan and I are down here working, obviously we have a lot of donkeys that we're working. So we would leave this pen. Red would keep coming down. He would probably blow while we're doing something else. And then we're somewhat done. So we might do another session with him. We might, maybe we don't do another session, but we still have to resort animals and feed them dinner. So we're not truly done with them. And that all counts. That all counts. This is a fun way to do bull life. Now, if you guys found value in this, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We appreciate all your guys' support. You're watching, the members that are out there. Thank you guys for your support. You guys make the time to do this with us. Here, I just put we're an adoption center, so we call it the warehouse. It's in Burros. If you're thinking about adopting, you go on to the field and you apply. Then you can come here and pick out donkeys. We have a clinic starting this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's been fun. There's still a couple openings if anybody's interested. Yeah, there's two. Because the lady from Mouse City can't come. Oh, yeah. But the gentleman was so there's lots of stuff happening. Lots of donkeys dragging. Look at all that.
I just get mutes.
Oh. That was fun. He's blinking a lot. Yes. I would really like to get his feet trimmed before he leaves. Because when they leave, even though they pick up their feet for us, well, now they got to get used to new owners and then a new farrier. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a lot of new. And his feet are pretty long sore, which is, I am not a farrier, but just to help get them a little bit more time for them to get ready for their new farriers. It's important to me. Especially when you're dealing with a hard donkey. Like some donkeys are just so darn easy, and other ones are so hard. They're more tricky first date.
How's his nostrils, MaryJo?
They're even right now. Elton and Clark are grooming each other. I really do hope that Clark can teach Elton manners a little bit more without getting beat up. So again, that's all I do for introducing leading. Sometimes it's not always that hard.
And timing of it too. There was a time where it would have ended up in probably a 911 call, a busted panel, and a fractured something or another. Because that is a very tense donkey. I mean, he flinches from birds.
He really does.
Right now, we've been working. He's been here for 6 months. I mean, it's in November or December. Either way,
We
it's
started ginseng him on December 20th.
Okay, so 5 minutes. He had no mental state. So it's fun watching him develop. For scary stuff, new things, confusion. Mm-hmm. And he was confused when he had him on lead rope. He was confused, but he wasn't terrified. Remember when he would have just been terrified and would have been a donkey-shaped hole in the panel.
He would face the panel and he would tuck his rear, and he just kind of stammer. He's getting ready to jump out. Mm-hmm. You got to be really careful how much pressure he gets.
I just rubbed on his leg just to see how loaded up he was. He handled that. I can actually visualize this donkey graduating someday.
He looks pretty relaxed right now.
There was a time I'm certain our grandchildren would finish this one.
You have to have more hope. We got this. We got this. He just needs more clarity. He needs more clarity.
But they really do go through a metamorphosis. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. This is a donkey is as hot as a thoroughbred. Or what? Right? My life is too cool.
He was liking that scratching, and then he started to get a little nervous. So then he's really anytime you notice all the small things. Noticing them doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to change what we're doing, but it is definitely a way to gauge how they feel. And sometimes we do need to change what we're doing because of all those little small things. All right, so I was asking before to put in the comments if you know what SCAP means, what it stands for, and last time Dan checked, nobody had put in there. I don't think so. I don't think a lot of you know what it means. So SCAP is soft, centered, accurate, and punctual. It's not my acronym, but it's my favorite acronym. And that's what we're looking for whenever we're training. We want them to be SCAP, soft, centered, accurate, and punctual. And if you want more on that, keep watching because it's stuff I talk about all the time. Right?
So it's scary, creepy, annoying, and punitive, right?
I don't think that's what I said. You're not in the camera. I don't think they know if they can take you seriously or not.
Why would anyone take that seriously?
Dan's very serious all the time.
Well, I'm a serious person. All right, he's gonna be all right.
Did you just get on notes or is he looking into him for real? His looking into it is getting more dramatic. So he was oh, this was kind of funny. So Dan was recording while I was doing Richard and I was in the barn. Second time, I don't know. Was I clear in the front? I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this donkey here. He usually is in the pen closest to the front of the barn off to.
We can't see you. She can't stand in the camera.
Okay. We can see it from here. You don't need to. Okay, long story short, I'm in that pen filming MaryJo in the pen next to it with my back turned for 15 minutes for this thing. Notice that wore him right out. My back was turned to him. I was standing there doing nothing. He just simply didn't understand what is the meaning of this, and it stressed him out. We got done with that session with the other donkey with Richard. And he's over yawning and licking and chewing like we just got done lunging him or something.
Like an epic scenario for him.
It was ridiculous, but it was real.
And all of that, like, where's the clarity in that, guys? It was stressful for him for you to stand there with your back towards him.
Yep.
It was stressful. So he just doesn't understand. We're just sharing space.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of clarity. And when there's not a lot of clarity, there's a lot of nervousness, a lot more crazy.
Is there a question here? Is this how humans attack? What goes on in a donkey's mind?
All right, guys. I think I have to get ready for the Rich Riders meeting now. I have to go do paperwork. But I've enjoyed this. Put in the comments if you guys enjoyed doing a go live down here at the barn. I'm really grateful for you guys coming and hanging out with us, watching Red have his first time being introduced to leading. And there just came Richard right out of the horse trailer.
He's been in and out of there many times.
He was so scared, guys. He wouldn't even acknowledge that he had a pen around him. It was like he made his own little bubble. And the reason, like, maybe I could force him to wear a halter and force him to lead and force him to do whatever I need him to do so he can graduate. That's not what I want, though. I want to get to his mind. I want him to feel good about everything that we're doing, not just being able to comply with it. So that's why I go at this speed, guys. This is why I go so slow. There are more ways to do things than mine. This is just how I do it. And the reason why is because I'm trying to get to him. The reason Dan's facing forward is if he were to decide to kick, he won't get a recut purpose.
Once I know he's not going to kick me in the face, I will then turn around.
Start this with a long brush because then if they're going to bite it or kick it, they can bite and kick the long brush out of it. But when we start putting our head down, we want to know how they're biting. More like long tight, which makes that little gesture was the picture. When
He gave me that little warning, and he left his foot. Fine.
riders are. They're very focused on Dan. They're not turning around. This is all about noticing where we go. Years would be going.
Ready? I want to take a step.
That's what I'm saying. He's ready. We want them to understand to pick up their foot when we ask. It's just offering clarity.
But when he's relaxed, this is a smart kid.
Yes.
This guy. You guys see that?
So do it again, do it again. Noticing the little things. All of this stuff. I don't think probably anything is a coincidence anymore with these donkeys. They're trying to communicate with us, and we just have to learn to watch and listen to what they're trying to share.
And they do. They do very clearly communicate back to you. I'm gonna step over here and wait. At this point, if he doesn't, I'm just gonna leave it. He's had a big game already. He's telling me all his body's saying he's ready. Kind of hoping he that foot.
Sometimes I notice like they're kind of telling us that they're ready, but they're also a little bit conflicted. There.
What's that?
Nice.
He's a big, huge handful, and I need to be done with it because he's been through the meat grinder today.
Agree. So typically, guys, we kind of stick to about 15 minutes per session, right? Now, I say typically because it's not always, but we do shoot for that.
And so a high stress session for him, the lead rope for the first time.
Yeah.
Ended with lifting up the front left foot, a big mouthful of oats. Everyone's calm and happy. So this is a perfect spot to leave him.
Can you guys see? All the now the donkeys were over there sleeping right in front of the water trough. They got up and left over the ice cream. Now, see 3 mules, 1 horse. That means that's the Stormy. He's on the other side of the bush trail. All right, guys, that's all for today. We'll see you next week, and we will be doing. We're gonna do Sundays at 9 a.m. We were gonna do lunchtime, but then Ridge Riders has our monthly meeting at noon, so that didn't work. And then I'm gonna be doing drill team with Stormy. So that's why we're changing the time for the summer, guys. So thanks again for watching. Have an amazing day. And thank you again. Bye.